Elves are an ancient and immortal race, known for their beauty, wisdom, and close connection to nature. They were the first beings created by the godlike Valar in Middle-earth, awakening long before men and other races. Elves are tall, with pointed ears and sharp, bright eyes, and they possess incredible agility, heightened senses, and longevity, allowing them to live for thousands of years, unless slain by another being or by grief. Historically, they have played a significant role in shaping Middle-earth, and they were also instrumental in the fight against the Dark Lord, Morgoth, and later against his lieutenant, Sauron. The Elves' craftsmanship is legendary, exemplified by the creation of the 3 Elden Rings of Power, which, unlike the other rings, remain uncorrupted by Sauron. Culturally, they have a deep appreciation for art, music, and the natural world, and they are also known for their beautiful voices and their creation of pleasing songs and poems. Elves live in peaceful communities, such as Rivendell and Lothlorien, where they practice their crafts, magic, and lore, with their society valuing wisdom, history, and the preservation of ancient knowledge. In the most recent events of Middle-earth, the Elves play a critical role in the War of the Ring, as Elrond and Galadriel offer counsel, sanctuary, and gifts to aid the Fellowship, whereas Legolas becomes one of the key members of the Fellowship, representing the unity of different races against a common enemy. Following the destruction of the One Ring, many Elves choose to leave Middle-earth, sailing to the Undying Lands, marking the end of their dominion and the beginning of the Age of Men. Dwarves are a proud race, known for their exceptional skills such as mining, metalwork, and stonecraft, and they are shorter and thicker than men, with long beards that they value highly. They are renowned for their craftsmanship, creating some of the most powerful and beautiful weapons, armor, and treasures in Middle-earth, including the famous Dwarven Mail of Mithril, which is a rare and precious metal. The Dwarves were created by the Vala Aule, the Smith, before the awakening of the Elves. Though initially separate from other races, they became involved in the broader history of Middle-earth through alliances and conflicts, notably with elves and men. They are integral to the stories of the Lonely Mountain and the Mines of Moria, both of which hold great cultural and historical significance for them. Their kingdom Khazad-dûm, which is also known as Moria, was once a thriving dwarven city, but it was abandoned after being overrun by a Balrog. Dwarves value loyalty, honor, and hard work, and they have a deep love for their ancestral homes, often built in mountains or underground, and they are also very protective of their loved ones, as well as their treasures. They are also known for their long memories and their ability to hold grudges, particularly against those who have wronged them. Dwarven society is clan-based, with leadership typically passed down through family lines, and in the most recent events of the franchise, dwarves play a significant role, although more indirectly compared to the Hobbits or Elves. Gimli joins the Fellowship of the Ring, symbolizing the alliance between dwarves and elves, in which they haven't been close in a very long time. After the War of the Ring, the dwarves continue to thrive, with Gimli establishing a new dwarven colony in the glittering caves of Helm's Deep, signifying a hopeful future for his people in the Fourth Age. Men, also known as humans, are one of the primary races in the series, characterized by their mortality and diversity. They are the second race to awaken in Middle-earth, following the Elves, and unlike the immortal elves, men possess the unique gift of mortality, which grants them a shorter existence, but also freedom from the world's confines, making their choices and legacies deeply impactful. Historically, they have played a critical role in the shaping of Middle-earth, and their most significant kingdom, Númenor, once stood as a powerful island realm. However, the pride and ambition of its people led to its downfall. The survivors, led by Elendil and his sons, established the kingdoms of Gondor and Arnor in Middle-earth, which became strongholds against the dark forces of Sauron. Men's culture are varied, ranging from the noble Gondorians to the Rohirrim, skilled horse lords of Rohan, and the Easterlings, who are often allied with Sauron. Each culture has its own customs, languages, and way of life, showcasing the race's adaptability and strength. They value honor, courage, and loyalty, which are traits that define their actions throughout history. In the most recent events, men play a very important role in the War of the Ring, as Aragorn, the heir to the thrones of Gondor and Arnor, emerges as the leader, reclaiming his birthright and leading the forces of men against Sauron. The climatic Battle of Pelennor Fields sees the forces of Rohan and Gondor unite against overwhelming odds, signaling a turning point in the war. Following the destruction of the One Ring, the Age of Men begins, marked by Aragorn's coronation as King Elisar, with peace and prosperity being restored to Middle-earth. Hobbits are a small, human-like race, with most averaging at about 3 to 4 feet in height, and typically having curly hair, often also on their feet. They are known for their love of comfort, peace, and a simple life, and they typically reside in the Shire, which is a rural and peaceful part of Middle-earth. Their society relies on their agricultural lifestyle, and they live in small and cozy underground homes, which are known as hobbit holes. They are also known for their love of food, smoking pipeweed, and hosting large celebrations and feasts. Hobbits have preferred to stay out of the affairs of the wider world, maintaining a quiet existence away from the conflicts that shaped Middle-earth. However, throughout history, they have been involved in multiple major events due to the actions of certain notable hobbits, one of the most popular being Bilbo Baggins, who finds the One Ring, and also his nephew Frodo Baggins, who later becomes the ring bearer and is tasked with destroying it. This act positions the hobbits as central central figures in the fight against the Dark Lord Sauron. Culturally, they value family, friendship, and tradition, and they have a very strong sense of community, with most members of their society being known for their lack of ambition for power and wealth. Instead, they focus on the simple joys of everyday life, but despite their desires for a peaceful existence, hobbits have shown great courage and resilience when faced with adversity. Following the destruction of the One Ring, the Shire is restored to its former glory after being temporarily overrun by outsiders. Hobbits, having played a crucial role in saving Middle-earth, continue to live peacefully, largely unaware of their monumental impact that their kind has had on the history of the world. Dragons are formidable and fearsome creatures, and they are massive and often have wings, possessing the ability to breathe fire. They are known for their immense strength, nearly impenetrable scales, and greed for golden treasures. They are highly intelligent and possess a cunning nature, often using deception to achieve their goals. The history of dragons in Middle-earth traces back to the First Age, when Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, bred them as powerful weapons of war. The first and greatest of these dragons was Glaurung, the father of dragons, who spread terror and destruction during the wars between Morgoth and the Elves. In the later ages, other notable dragons emerged, such as Calagon the Black, who was the largest of all, and was instrumental in the War of Wrath, as well as Smaug, the last of the great fire-breathing dragons. They have played a crucial role in shaping the history and mythology of Middle-earth, and their abundance of gold and jewels often attracted the greed of mortals, which sparked many conflicts. Smaug, for instance, claimed the Lonely Mountain and its vast treasures, driving the dwarves of Erebor into exile. By the time of the main series, dragons are largely a memory, with few, if any, remaining in Middle-earth. However, their legacy endures, symbolizing the destructive power of greed and pride, and Smaug's death marks the end of the Great Dragons, and also a turning point in the struggle for Middle-earth, as the Free People united against the remnants of Sauron's evil forces. Their cultural significance is reflected in the tales and songs that recount their fearsome deeds, reminding everyone of the ancient power that once roamed the world. Orcs are an evil and aggressive race, serving as the primary foot soldiers of Sauron and Saruman's forces. They are twisted and corrupted versions of elves and men, bred by cruelty and violence. Physically, orcs are typically short and beastly, having dark skin, distorted features, and sharp teeth. They possess keen senses, particularly in the dark, and are known for their destructive behavior. The origins of orcs are rooted in darkness and corruption, and it is believed by many that they were originally elves, captured and tortured by the Dark Lord Morgoth in the ancient times of Middle-earth. Over time, they were transformed into grotesque mockeries of their former selves, bred to hate light and beauty, and this cruel manipulation was furthered by Sauron, who used them as his primary soldiers to spread terror and destruction throughout Middle-earth. During the Second and Third Ages, orcs were involved in countless battles, often serving as troops in assaults against the Free People. Culturally, they are defined by a brutal and hierarchical society where strength and fear dictate power. They thrive in harsh, militaristic environments, often living in dark and underground layers, such as the mines of Moria or the volcanic realm of Mordor. Orcish culture is built on violence, conflict, and a drive to dominate or destroy. They are known to fight among themselves, with most being driven by distrust and malice. In the most recent events of the series, orcs are the backbone of Sauron's armies during the War of the Ring, and they besieged Gondor in the Battle of Pelennor Fields, attempting to overwhelm the forces of Rohan and Gondor. Despite their numbers and ferocity, the defeat of Sauron and the destruction of the One Ring lead to the collapse of their forces. Without their Dark Master, many orcs are hunted down or flee into hiding, marking the decline of their influence in the Fourth Age of Middle-earth. Ents are ancient tree-like beings, and they are among the oldest living creatures in Middle-earth, created by the godlike beings known as the Valar to protect the trees and forests from harm. Physically, they resemble very tall trees, with bark basically being their skin, and along with how tall they are also very strong, capable of uprooting and moving trees or tearing down stone walls with ease. Ents have played a largely passive role in the affairs of Middle-earth, focusing on their role as guardians of the forest, and one of their most prominent homes is at the Fangorn Forest, named after Fangorn, also known as Treebeard, the oldest and most significant of the Ents. Over the ages, their numbers have dwindled, and many of their kind have become tree-ish and now resemble trees more than living beings. The Endwives, which are female Ents, disappeared long ago, causing much sadness among the remaining Ents. They value nature and peace, and they also speak a unique language called Entish, which is slow and difficult for other races to understand. Ents are very patient and make deliberate, well thought out decisions, which means they can take a very long time before reaching a conclusion on one. They have a strong sense of duty to protect the forest and a deep connection to the natural world. During the main series, the Ents play a pivotal role during the War of the Ring, as they are brought into it due to the actions of Treebeard after he had met Merry and Pippin, where they were convinced to join during the Entmoot, which is a council of Ents. They have decided to finally fight against Saruman due to his forces cutting down the tree of Fangorn for fuel and war. The Ents attack on Isengard directly leads to the downfall of Saruman's power, and after the war, they continue to guard the forest, maintaining their ancient role as protectors of Middle-earth's natural beauty. Balrogs are fearsome and ancient beings, originally being known as Maiar, which is a type of lesser godlike spirit. They were corrupted and brought under the influence of Morgoth in the earliest ages of Middle-earth. As a result, they became his most powerful and terrifying servants, with Balrogs being enormous and shrouded in darkness and flames emitting from their bodies. They wield whips of fire and can summon heat and smoke, making them extremely strong in battle. Historically, they played a significant role in the conflicts of the First Age, as they were instrumental in Morgoth's wars against the Elves and other free people of Middle-earth, with them participating in some of the most catastrophic battles of that time. The Balrog leader, Gothmog, was a key figure in the slaying of many elven heroes, including Feanor, the creator of the Silmarils. Following the defeat of Morgoth in the War of Wrath, most of the Balrogs were destroyed or driven into hiding in the deep places of the world. By the time of the main series, only a few Balrogs are believed to remain, the most notable being the one encountered by the Fellowship of the Ring in the Mines of Moria. This Balrog, known as Durin's Bane, had been awakened from its slumber beneath the Misty Mountains by the dwarves mining too deeply for mithril. It drove the dwarves out of Moria and maintained its rule over the ruined kingdom until it was confronted by Gandalf. Although Balrogs are an ancient evil and are no longer very active, when they do appear, they are a reminder of the destructive power and darkness of Morgoth's influence. Trolls are large creatures known for their strength and limited intelligence. They have thick, often rock-like skin, which makes them difficult to harm, at least with conventional weapons. They are largely known for their aggression, foul tempers, and violence, with them serving as one of the stronger forces in armies such as Sauron and Saruman's. Trolls were bred by Morgoth in the early ages of Middle-earth as a mockery of the Ents. They were created to be strong and powerful, but were cursed with limited intelligence and vulnerability to sunlight, which turns them into stone. Throughout the ages, trolls have been used as troops for battles, as well as laborers, particularly in building fortifications. They are known for their destructive tendencies, as well as their terrifying demeanor. Trolls come in various types, including hill trolls, stone trolls, and cave trolls, as well as the Olog-hai, who are a more advanced breed of trolls created by Sauron. These creatures are smarter and can withstand sunlight, making them more effective soldiers in his armies. In the most recent events of the series, trolls are used extensively by Sauron in the War of the Ring, as they participate in major battles, such as the Battle of Pelennor Fields, and the assault on Minas Tirith, where their strength is used against the fortifications and armies of Gondor. Despite their physical power, the downfall of Sauron and the destruction of the One Ring leads to the downfall of their presence and influence, as the dark forces are scattered or defeated. With that being said, trolls remain one of the most feared creatures of Middle-earth. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below which race I discussed is your favorite, and if you would like to see more videos on Lord of the Rings, make sure to subscribe. Thank you again, and goodbye.